Hello, and welcome back to SURYONAMFACTZ. World War Z is nearing its 10-year anniversary, but while its sequel did not materialize, there are 12 other great zombie movies to watch after Night of the Living Dead, 1968. The zombie movie genre was birthed with George Romero's 1968 classic Night of the Living Dead, with a band of human survivors taking refuge in a farmhouse in the middle of zombie outbreak. For its time, Night of the Living Dead was staggeringly violent, but none of its power and ability to frighten has diminished. For as much as zombie movies have evolved since Night of the Living Dead, revisiting it should be an absolute priority for any zombie movie lover. Dawn of the Dead, 1978. A decade after Night of the Living Dead, Romero's best zombie movie Dawn of the Dead brought the undead back from the grave again. With zombies overrunning the world, a group of human survivors seeks refuge from the undead in a shopping mall. While the ash-gray undead are a bit dated in their zombie looks, Romero nonetheless massively steps up the zombie thrills and subversive capitalist commentary in Dawn of the Dead, this time with the benefit of color, which makes the blood component twice as memorable. Train to Busan. 2016's Train to Busan follows a zombie outbreak in South Korea, with human occupants aboard a train headed from Seoul to Busan on a story of survival. Train to Busan stands a major sleeper hit that took the world by storm and packs all the zombie thrills and chills anyone could ask for with locomotive efficiency. Fortunately for zombie fans, Train to Busan has not stopped either, spawning the ongoing Train to Busan movie franchise. Reek follows a news crew in Madrid covering the nightlife of the local fire department, only to find themselves pulled into an unexpected zombie outbreak in a local apartment complex. Reese's claustrophobic sense of dread and superb use of jump scares make an exhilarating ride of scares, and its climactic reveal of the undead progenitor at the top of the building is a powerful exercise in silence as the ultimate tool of fright. Race would spawn numerous sequels, as well as the pretty good American remake Quarantine in 2008. Dawn of the Dead, 2004. Zack Snyder's feature directorial debut Dawn of the Dead takes the core premise of George Romero's original of human hiding in a mall from a zombie apocalypse and gives it a much more fast-paced makeover that extends to the zombies themselves, who sprint after their prey with ferocious abandon. Less a remake than a total reimagining, Dawn of the Dead pays tribute to Romero's original, while totally standing on its own. The DVD short films Special Report and Andy's Lost Days also add immensely to Dawn of the Dead as excellent special features. Shaun of the Dead, the comedy duo of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost anchor one of the most hilarious zombie comedies in history. Shaun of the Dead, with a zombie outbreak unfolding in London. A group of survivors hide in a local pub, but Shaun of the Dead is far from an average zombie flick. With dry British comedy and zombie action in equal supply with Pegg and Frost's buddy chemistry, Shaun of the Dead is great fun as an undead romp. I Am Legend. Richard Matheson's novel I Am Legend is frequently cited as the progenitor of the modern concept of zombies, and the Will Smith-led I Am Legend movie does it proud. Smith-led I Am Legend movie does it proud. Smith plays Robert Neville, a scientist trying to devise a cure for the plague of dark seekers that have overrun the world and left him possibly the last human left on Earth. Smith's tour de force performance carries the emotional story of I Am Legend felt most powerfully in the heartbreaking scene, where he's forced to say goodbye to his dog companion. Some of the CG on the Dark Seekers is a bit shoddy, but I Am Legend is nonetheless a zombie movie winner. 28 Days Later. 2002's 28 Days Later opens with London devastated by a zombie plague and a handful of humans, including Jim Killian Murphy and Selena Naomi Harris, trying to survive. As a zombie film, 28 Days Later more than delivers on the grime and apocalyptic terror that a zombie apocalypse demands, with some of the most feral zombies ever seen on film to that point. Like any great zombie movie, 28 Days Later tells a harrowing survival story that grips from start to finish. Zombieland. Ruben Fleischer's hellacious zombie comedy Zombieland follows the college loner Columbus, Jesse Eisenberg, as he forms an unlikely family with his fellow survivors, Tallahassee, Woody Harrelson, Wichita, Emma Stone, and Little Rock, Gail Breslin. The comedic banter of Zombieland's quartet of heroes makes the movie Zombie Apocalypse one of the most fun ever, and even works in a zany Bill Murray cameo midway through. Zombieland 2 brought new zombies back to the big screen a decade later, keeping its predecessor's wacky fun alive. Night of the Living Dead, 1990, Remaking a classic is always a tall order, but Tom Savini's 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead equals, and even arguably surpasses its 1968 predecessor. The premise is largely the same of a cluster of human survivors making their stand in a farmhouse, but Savini's Night of the Living Dead makes the story and characters its own. That's especially true for its protagonist Barbara, Patricia Tallman, who transforms from terrified bystander to a zombie, slaying Sarah Connor, versus Ryuhei Kitamura's 2000 movie Versus is a genre cocktail, if ever there was one, with an unnamed escaped prisoner, played by Tak Sakaguchi of 2016's assassin action movie Reborn, discovering he is an immortal warrior while battling Yakuzas and zombies alike in an enchanted forest. Essentially, Highlander meets The Evil Dead versus combines zombies, supernatural elements, gunplay, martial arts, and more into a one-of-a-kind zombie movie stew, made for a measly $10,000 and holding cult status over 2 decades later. Versus is the epitome of doing a lot with a little. Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder returned to the zombie genre with 2021's Army of the Dead and turned it up to 11. After Las Vegas is sealed off from the world following a local zombie outbreak, a team of mercenaries is recruited to pull off a daring heist with a deadlier breed of the undead known as alpha zombies. Army of the Dead sets Snyder's zombie universe into motion and does it with plenty of the action, horror thrills he originally brought to Dawn of the Dead, with a looming alien presence and time loop elements to boot. Like World War Z, Army of the Dead is an often chaotic but hugely enjoyable apocalyptic ride. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to SURYONAMFACTZ.